and I leave the chrome catch cover off, and I put the pole down, and if it still doesn't go down in here while this is loose, then I know there's corrosion on this shaft right here. So I clean that shaft out with a little moto tool until it's larger, slightly larger. Then I try it again, and when it goes in here freely, that's the way I tighten it. And then I do the same, make sure the chrome catch cover on the top fastens properly. So these, I'm out of these, unfortunately.
Now, when you say you're out of something, does that mean you'll never get any more? Or?
Oh, I guess I got to re-glue that. No, that does not mean that, but these are going to be harder. I'm going to probably have to have these manufactured. And since it's bright chrome anodizing, it might be expensive. I don't know yet. Critical item to replace is this. This rubber hose gets brittle right here, it cracks, and it drips down, and it gets on the starter motor, and people have had fires.
That's gas line, right?
That's gas line.
Yeah.
And you want to take this off and clean your fuel pump and your carburetor. Make sure you have a good flame arrestor. Do you have a flame arrestor?
Yep, I think so.
Okay. What else there? These little short hoses, there's one here, and there's one down by the, off the water pump.
And that's like an oil, what?
Well,
or is that a PCV type?
No, that's for the radiator. That's water in there.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah, oh yeah, oil line. See these things? I'm glad you mentioned that. I got to change mine next year because it's been a while.
Yeah.
But those break. Where this metal, under here there's a piece of metal, and you start fiddling with them and they snap. And then the oil then sprays out through these louvers. Makes a mess.
That's not.
Battery box is imperative to keep the problem of the rust going down through these metal here.
Yeah, I know. I wish the last guy had owned it felt the same way.
I know. Well, see, the cars were going down in value. It's only recently. Make sure these are in good shape.
Radiator mount.
Oh yeah. Then this, the rubber, air intake rubbers. That's important. Keeps the temperature down. And then this and this we have as a kit. It goes all the way around there, includes this.
Yeah.
About 20 feet. And then obviously your propellers, make sure they're proper, not out of balance.
Yeah, mine need to be cleaned. They're really nasty, really dirty.
The drive shafts tend to have bad U-joints.
Yeah, so is that a common unit, the drive, the U-joint?
No.
No.
Unique to Amphicar, unfortunately. They made 4 types. There was one that we could get from a German supplier, but then the price of the U-joints is more than the shaft, so we don't care about that anymore. We have steering wheels, we have horn, buttons.
I just got one of the cluster gauges too.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I just got one of those. Got one of the good ones too.
Great, okay.
Boy, it's beautiful. It's just like yours. But I need a... You know, I also was going to ask, I've got the speedometer on mine.
Yeah.
And it reads 7,600 and some miles.
Yeah.
Now, if I buy a new speedometer...
It'll say 0.
Right.
What you do is you take your old speedometer and throw it in the glove box.
Yeah.
For a point of reference, if you wish to. Some people I know they don't, but they should.
Well, I know it's got like a paint thing on the back that if it's disturbed, you can tell if it's been set back because the paint has been chipped off the screw.
What happens sometimes is people will have a failure in their speedometer cable and then they don't bother to replace it. So the cars, and then don't forget too, they don't register the miles in the water. So like where mine has, I don't know, 50-some thousand on the road,
yeah.
You add on to that the equivalent of the highway, which would probably be equal. So the engine actually has the, so if you're, like for example in your car it may have 7,000, but then it might be, who knows?
Yeah, twice that at least. And
because it goes so slow, I mean the hours go by in the water and the engine is running, but you don't go very far.
I noticed your kick panels, you've got the speaker.
No, that's the heater intake.
Oh.
That's heater intake.
See, and it just goes to show you that I didn't get that with mine.
Now, on the other side over here,
yeah,
is I did put a stereo speaker in to go.
Okay, so that's heater intake, and when you buy that kick panel, you get that
there's a hole
with a hole in it.
There's a hole if you buy that, and you can actually make one of those. Do you have a panel at all?
Not that I'm aware of.
On this side, you don't have one either?
I don't think I've got any of that. All the interior was gone when I got it, all stripped out.
Because what you could do is just put new material on it. That's what I usually do on those. And because we sell the original material, you can glue it on right here also.
Yeah, see, I'm going to need to do that because it came without. It was torn off when I got it.
Now, Real Upholstery,
Posts.
right down the street, does our seat. You send them your seats, and they come back looking all brand new. Plus, it gives you new panels. You can see mine are kind of seedy.
Yeah.
They've been well used.
I did get door panels. Mine don't have those pockets on them. Maybe they're just torn off. I don't know. Oh, you know, mine got the hole in them. Okay.
For the pocket.
Right.
You son of a gun. Huh.
But I didn't get the pocket because that's attached to the actual door, right? On the
That's
inside?
right. That's right.
Okay. That makes sense. Okay, see, I just learned something else. I did not get a back seat or at all.
Well,
I got a pad, which I know is not right. Now see, that's got the knobs on it to hook the tonneau cover for the.
Yeah, these are sheet metal screw, and they just go into the wood in the back, so you can line it up with your boot. Did you get a boot?
Yeah, I did get a boot. It's in good shape too.
Well, then what you do, when you finally see how they're toward the outside edge there?
Yep.
What you do is when you get your seat back, you just put the wooden screws in to line up with the sheet metal screws rather to line up with your boot. Now, believe it or not, all these years my boot only lines up with the middle stud. The other two are way off.
Really?
That's just, you know, the cars.
I know Joe's was way off too.
Yep, exactly. Maybe I should switch seats. Maybe it doesn't work on mine.
Yeah. Maybe they got switched at birth, huh?
Air filter is, it's important enough. Now the radiator cap, that's important because I'm sure your original is all fatigued. On the early cars, they didn't have this, the pressure release, which is rather handy. Point, plug, condenser, wires, usual stuff. Now there are two types of spark plugs. You can get the expensive type or the normal type.
What are the plugs? What are the number on them?
They're platinum plugs for, it's a German Bosch plug. And the expensive one is a platinum. And the cheap one is just a standard copper. There's the normal ones that you would buy would not be either one. They would be, I don't know what to say, different. They're a little different. It's just a marinized thing. The carburetor may need cleaning. Well, again, I have a feeling, well, start at the gas tank and work your way back, cleaning everything you go along. Make absolutely sure you replace that hose. That's vital, because we lose cars now to fires under the front seat.
Oh, really?
Oh, yes.
Because of that gas line, huh?
Yeah, it's mush. You'll find that it'll be brittle here and maybe mushy under your front. Well, no, your car won't be mushy. It hasn't been driven for a while.
But there's no front seat either, so. But it
Well,
does run, so I know there's a gas line coming back.
It's probably this. You can tell if it's fabric wrapped, it's original Amphicar, like that.
Yeah.
Now we sell it. I mean, you can buy anything, but don't buy cheapo stuff that will dissolve slowly with gasoline or oil, you know. And I guess I better fix that on mine. So, is your muffler good?
Yeah, it's in remarkably good shape. It's painted gray, as a matter of fact.
Okay.
I don't know if that's supposed to be that way or not, but
Does it look like that one?
yeah.
Okay. He may have bought it. I don't know. So that's it. That's basically what there is. And the most expensive single item you'll have will be bodywork. The second potential item will be the transmission. And the third potential is brakes.
Which I need brakes. I mean, that is something that I need to get in there, and I want to leave the wheels on now so I can move it around.
Do not, under any circumstances, use domestic brake linings. They will be in SAE dimensional size, and the brake drums will seize on them. And that it has to be waterproof, not water shedding or water resistant. But they have to be something sitting out on the lake for hours on end and still stop. So that's very important, because many people will go with a domestic thickness, and then they can't get the drums on right. And then they're driving along the road and they seize. That's very important.
I've heard that before then.
Okay, the rubber rear flexible brake hoses clog up to the point where your foot can push the brake fluid through onto and put the brakes on, but then when you take your foot off the brake, the brake fluid will not return to the master cylinder. And it's the left rear that goes first. And so if yours are original, don't even think twice. Get rid of them, all four. Get rid of all four. That's Danger City, you know.
Yeah. Okay.
So I would say, now if your transmission works, you're home free. We already talked about this extensively.
Yep.
What else is there? The radiators they just don't give any problems. Chrome tailpipes. That's a nice decorative piece when it's on.
Yeah, it does look sharp.
The hubcaps are a nice, beautiful decorative piece.
Yeah, I need to get some hubcaps, and you've got those trim rings too, right?
I do. These.
I've got to get new.
Now the new hubcaps, we went with a more expensive type. The originals are chrome plated.
Yep.
And we went with polished stainless steel, like those, because they won't ever pit again. The only way you can damage them is if you dent them.
Those look nice. They do look nice.
We have two types of wiper blades. We have the...
I already got some.
Oh, good. Okay.
I got...
Did you get the plastic one?
Yep, I didn't get these.
Yeah, very seldom people use those. I mean, why bother?
Yep. That's an original type with those metal clips.
Yep.
See?
Just squeeze this down with your pliers, too, if you have a problem.
Right, I did. Yep.
That's what I do. Look at broke my windshield. Look at that.
How'd you do that?
I don't know. Just started. I think I had it.
Must have had a little chip or something on the edge when you installed it or something, and it started working its way.
I had it parked against a metal paper towel rack in my garage, and the metal thing was leaning right there, and maybe it started it. I don't know, but it happened to line up with it.
My window's got scratches on it. Windshield wiper scratches.
Oh, you can get rid of those with a low RPM buffer and a certain type of jeweler's rouge. We'll get rid of that, but don't do it high speed, or it'll tend to melt the glass.
Well, I talked to a glass man, and he said it couldn't be done. Oh no, he says, I've been doing this for 20 years. He says, that can't be done.
How deep are they?
Well, they're like Joe's.
Okay, here's what'll happen. You'll get rid of them so that you can't see them. But if you look at them very carefully from inside the car, you may see a little warble in the windshield glass.
Okay.
He didn't want to take the time. And yet, it's a slow process. You can't heat the windshield. Otherwise, like I say, you'll crack it. Under here. That's the electrical inverter. Now, I don't mount them there. Is your heater up here, or is your heater down below?
I think it's up there.
It is.
I think it is. I think it is. I've got a picture in the house.
Okay.
I can show you.
Then you mount your inverter, electrical inverter, over there. Make sure the gas cap gasket is good. That this rubber thing here is good, because gasoline goes up into the horn.
Why?
Because as this expands, let's say you fill up your tank, but then the gas will come out of this hole and it'll go up into the horn. That's also a vapor vent. If that's closed off or not functioning, then you won't have any draw, and you might not get gas into your carburetor.
What's the advantage of having gas in your horn, though?
There isn't any. You don't want it, but that's where it could end up if you filled your gas tank with cold gas, and then you parked your car at a restaurant. When you came out, you might find gas on your hood. So without it, your whole bilge would be full of gas.
Right. Okay.
That would be disastrous.
And then you wouldn't know.
Here are the strips that I'm putting on Joe's car.
Yep, that's the ones I need right there.
And then these are some of the other parts I got on this car. Things. Yeah, there's just all kinds of weird things in there. Same here, the tools. Well, there's a gasket under this that you should glue on. And then if that doesn't work, check to see if the float has gasoline in it. The brake fluid reservoir over there has a fabric special hose with two different diameters on it, on the different ends, and that tends to weep. So of course right now you don't have any fluid, so you can't tell if it's weeping.
Right.
But the rule of thumb generally is, if it's rubbery, replace it anyway, because the minute you start driving your car, all the rubbery stuff just deteriorates almost overnight. That'll leak. The gas cap gasket will leak.
Yeah.
The what do you call it? The heater's lines will start leaking, and you go out of your mind trying to find a heater hose leak under the seats. You go nuts.
Yeah.
And what else? This gasket we have this gasket.
Yeah, I'm gonna know that.
We're out of these. And this we have.
Yep. You need those. Those were seized up. I mean, my hood is in just atrocious shape.
Okay. If it's not
Especially
repairable.
along this upper edge is just shot.
Well,
It's in bad shape.
what I would do would be to tell the body man you have a fiberglass hood available.
Yeah.
Yeah. The advantage of the fiberglass
Maybe
is
the way to go.
there is an advantage that there's a disadvantage that you can't twist a fiberglass hood. So then if there's some body damage, ever so minor, they have to change the shape of the car, the body. We've had people do that. That funny looking thing there is just nothing but a lantern battery. That works my digital
Readout on your stereo.
yeah, and the memory, because the memory is lost. And that battery will be dead probably in 2 years. I disconnect it when I'm not using the car for a long period of time.
I see you just got regular stock tires.
Yeah, this
That
is
looks like a regular radial or
yeah, this is
bias.
an original bias by Amphicar tire. I don't like it because it doesn't handle as well.
I've got it. What seems to be an original one. Mine was made in Italy on it. It says.
Oh, Chiat, C-E-A-T, Chiat. The white wall goes out to here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an original.
Is it?
Yep. This is an earlier
I think I've
style.
got 2 or 3 of those. One of them's got a big hole inside, but
Save them. Well, not the one with a big hole maybe, but the other two, if they'll hold air, save them, because
they
some
do hold air, but they're in really bad shape. I mean,
splits like 10 times worse than this, right?
yeah, and they're just in crappy shape.
Yeah, forget it. Yeah,
They're not any good as far as tires go. As far as a good tire, I mean, if you wanted it hanging on the wall, it'd be great, but
Anyhow, are these on the car?
yep, shot. I need new ones. Matter of fact, I just took those apart the other day.
Okay.
Took the buckets out and everything. Everything except for that outer ring is good.
This one?
Yep.
Don't have the original outer ring. I have a replacement, which cosmetically, what he's got.
Looks the same.
It looks so similar, but it doesn't hold. It allows water into the back, and you have to seal the bucket with this. No, he still has his original. He's in better shape than mine. No, he's missing his
Screw.
his rubber gasket. It opens up and lets water in the car. Oh darn. We have this base gasket, but you
Yeah.
don't even have this.
Didn't even get it.
Oh, shame.
Yeah, I know. I talked to Nigel and he said there wasn't any, so.
I went over to Germany and I got the last 7.
And now, of course, those are gone, right?
Yeah, they went in one day.
Yeah.
Everybody asks for them.
Uh-huh.
Oh, the seats are rusted into the rubber. Huh. Yeah, that'll be fun if I ever have to take those out.
What's the deal with the seat belts now? Is that something that...
Yeah, your car will have those anchors, and just use any generic seat belt. They're made in the U.S. This should go up.
Put this camera ways.
Hmm?